house and stay away from the dragon.
The Grimm Forest.
Okay, welcome back to the Board Game Closet. My name's Jimmy.
I'm Rod.
If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, click the button and subscribe, and we'll give you reviews and previews about board games, and we'll give you our simple one-die rating. Should you buy it, play it, or hate it? Green means go buy this game and add it to your collection. White means maybe you wouldn't buy it, but you definitely play it. And then red means you wouldn't buy it and you wouldn't play it because you hate it.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. So we'll give you that rating right up front, and then we'll spend the rest of this video telling you why we gave it that rating. All right, and reveal. It's a green.
Yeah, two greens.
Two greens. It's a double green.
Touchdown.
Well, this one clear. You got to start with the components, right?
Right, exactly. And I have to say this ranks on the top of anything that we've played. I mean, really. And the pieces are fantastic. Just so nicely done. I can't say enough about it myself.
I mean, the artwork on everything is just, it's some of my favorite artwork I've seen in a board game. I just think every piece is just like, you can tell they put so much effort and energy into every single card that comes in the game.
Everything from the quality of the cards themselves, from the thickness, to the artwork on there, it's just all fantastic.
It came with these game trays that all sit, all of the components fit into this. Everything has its own spot in the game box, and then it all fits down in there. Even how the cards come out, you push on an edge, everything pops up. It's just the quality of what you get in this is just incredible.
I mean, of all the games that we do reviews on and stuff, this one right here, to me, when it comes to the component part of it, just knocks it out of the ballpark. Really, I just can't think of anything that compares with the quality of the pieces.
The houses, they have these 3D houses that you build in the game, and so you've got the base and the walls and the roof. Just the fact that you're building a 3D house.
Right, and it looks really good, right?
And
and then of course one of us has the board and everything, and it's just I'm just very impressed with what they've released here.
So let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay, it would be one thing if it was just the components. We've got a few games that has really nice components, but it's got to have good gameplay, right? Or else it's just fancy toys, I guess. Yeah. But the gameplay on this one really surprised me. So the basic overview of the game is that you have gather cards. If you're playing with 4 people, then there's 4 locations. And on your turn, you would simply place a card down and reveal which location you're going to go to. Okay, I'm going to the fields. And if I was the only one that went to the fields, then I would get all of the resources that were there and I keep them to myself. But if Rod went there as well, then we have to split the resources.
Right.
Regardless, after that, then you go to a build phase where you're going to try to build the house. And so you pay resources for the floors, the walls, and the roof. The game ends when someone has built 3 houses. Now, if that's all the game was, that would just be okay. Right. But what adds to it are these Fable and Friend cards. So Fable cards are ones that you get to play with your Gather card. So this would go face down with your Gather card, and then before you reveal where you're going to go, you would reveal the Fable card. And Fable cards do all kinds of different things. It might send someone away from you. You might get to move locations. You might get to call in one of these monsters and hurt someone else. Or you can do different things with the stuff that you have. So these Fable cards add in a unpredictability to the game.
Sure.
And it's one of my favorite things. These just totally add to the flavor of the game, especially the bigger you have. If you play this game with all 4 people, it's just so much fun because you don't know what these are going to do. Right,
and it brings a lot of aspects into the game that from the beginning it just looks like you're just building these houses, right? You just got the pigs, you're building the houses, boom, boom, boom. That's about it. But it brings in all these other things, which makes which gives you the bigger, broader world.
Right. And then they introduce friend cards. And now these are cards that stay face up in front of you. And this is a friend that you have, like the evil witch here, or the evil queen. And at the start of the round, before these Fable cards are revealed, you get to choose a player and look at their Fable card. And so that's or their Gather card. So this is a really cool power. And there's a whole stack of these friend cards.
I'm holding Goldilocks, I'm holding the Golden Goose. They just carried, everything you can think of from, from the stories, they have it in here.
And so these friend cards, what's great about them is then you know what people can do around the table. So the evil queen, because someone knows that I could look at their card, maybe that makes it harder for them to do something. Or there are different cards in the game that allow you to have different abilities, and some of these play off of each other, like Red Riding Hood, and the Big Bad Wolf. There's all different ones, Rapunzel and Rumpelstiltskin and the Huntsman and Sleeping Beauty.
Right.
And so all of these cards do something different during the game. So at the beginning, kind of slow start. You're just going, you're getting resources coming back. But somewhere in the middle of the game, when people have friend cards, when they have fable cards starting to be played, it just goes to this whole nother level.
Yeah, and that's exactly. I mean, you're describing it perfectly, because it does start off very simplistic, and and at the beginning you might be going, I'm wondering, but but the pieces look great and stuff, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you're bringing in different characters and different situations, and then you have all these other things jumping into the scene, and it just brings that whole world into it. It's pretty incredible. It's awesome.
Now, there is some take that in the game. Actually, I mean, this is like a nice take that game because you are going to be doing stuff to other people. But one thing that I thought was pretty interesting about the Fable cards is these are played before you reveal where you're going to go. So a lot of times you are playing a Fable card and you might not even know who it's going to affect. Sure. You don't know who's going to show up at your location. You don't know who's going to do what. But you know that you're going to be playing this card, and sometimes that eases the blow of the take that, because it's not like, haha, I'm just necessarily picking on. I mean, you can, and there are ways to do that, but it's just a different mechanism to be able to do that, and I thought that was really smart.
Sure. I mean, I think it covers all ages. Well, obviously it covers all ages, but it does the one thing that I thought that it would have difficulty doing, is bringing adults into the game. And they did a real good job at that.
Plays pretty quick. You're just playing until you build the 3 houses, and then that's it. And there are bonuses that you get if you're the first person to build a certain type of house. There's just a few things that add in along the way to kind of make it fun all the way until the end.
Yeah, and I think this is a really great intro game that brings people into this world of gaming. And I think especially for the kids. You got younger kids playing it, and then, of course, even the adults, because an adult coming into the game who's just, played Risk and Monopoly, might look at this like, okay, this will be pretty simple too. But it does add some different things and elements that you'll see in other games. So they can play a couple games of this, enjoy it, and then they can move on to harder games. But this to me was a very, very nice little game.
And so if you're interested in the Grimm Forest, it gets 2 greens. And I know that there's tons of other videos out there as well, so you can go and see gameplay videos and hear others' opinion about the game. But this is a well-received game, and I think that it'd be worth picking up.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It meets all the marks. Quality of the stuff that you're getting. It's a fun game to play, and the price is right. That's awesome.
There you go. All right, we've got a lot more reviews on our website, boardgamecloset.com. We've got a podcast where we talk about games like this, and if you're interested, go online and check those out. And as always,
support your local hobby shop.
the thing we always say.
Exactly.